Welcome to Talkin' Hogs, the podcast that takes boot scootin' too seriously. The rules are simple. Two pigs battle it out to appease the will of the Hogfather. Whoever sways his opinion is the champion. Whoever loses is a piece of shit. But alas, all is not what it seems on the killing floor, as the Hogfather has tricks up his sleeve to turn the tides. Today's topic. Let's take this a little soft here. Let's sort of tease you in here. Let's tickle your taint a little.
All right.
So
Easy.
There's a lot of talk now about a lot of isms, and ageism's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
That's not something we support here.
Absolutely not.
But I think it's worth addressing. It's worth bringing up. It's maybe in a positive light.
Okay.
We speak about how important these different people are to us. In this specific case, the different ages. You know what I'm talking about here?
Right.
We're not the only ones that are hanging out here. How do you guys feel about the different, young, old, baby? It's all good. Babies are cool too, right?
No, not usually. I prefer the Middle Ages, both historically and logistically. I think middle-aged people seem to have the most knowledge with the least ability to do anything. So I find their frustration to be interesting.
I bite there. Babies are kind of dumb.
They're not smart. You give a baby a Rubik's Cube, it's going to fuck it up every time.
Yeah, dude, but a baby doesn't even know how to use a Rubik's Cube because it's a fucking baby.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, they exude brain-altering chemicals that make you love them and not eat them, so
Absolutely.
I don't trust anything that's deceiving me.
Babies
from
work
birth.
on a different level. If anyone is familiar with the film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, I believe.
Oh, that documentary? I'm
yes,
familiar.
the very famous documentary
Based
from
on a true
2004.
story. Oh, 2004.
Yeah, it came out twice.
But think about baby. Talk about living your best life. I mean, babies. It's all the lack of faculty without any of the knowledge of shame. Just shitting in breach all day, every
That's
day.
true.
Somebody else taking care of that.
Babies
Right.
have no shame. I am envious now of babies. I redact my previous statement on babies. Babies have it figured out.
Agreed.
Okay, well, fuck babies. But we've got a little. We'll get directly into the topic now. We're going to focus on a specific sect of for age, and for the purposes of today, since we're all men here, we are going to focus on a specific gender as well. I think that will relate a little more. I'm going to go with asking you, who's better? What group of people here? Dads or granddads?
Ooh.
Now I'm going to go ahead and assign this. Casey, you're going to take big daddies.
Okay.
And Dan, you're going to get old grandpas.
Ooh.
So,
Sounds interesting.
who wants to jump in here first? Who's done more for us?
I'll tell you right now, grandpas inherently have done more for us because the majority of grandpas have fought in a war. Doesn't matter which one. Sometimes, quite often, they're not clear which one. But they've all, at some point, if you rile them up enough, they fought in the goddamn war, and they ain't putting up with this shit no more. Most of you daddies haven't. Go for
A little
How long that
soft.
lasts? Yeah.
They don't get the real
No.
words.
They's in Korea. They's in Nam. They've been in the shit. So I say a granddaddy is more often not hardened more so than your average pop.
Look at that. Okay. Well, why do you think dads have done more for us, Casey? Since I'm making you.
So, you look at this from many different angles, but one in particular that you have to pay attention to is it's the dads come.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
That's probably number one why they've done the most, because it took that to get to that point. Part two, the only reason that grandpas even exist is because of the dads.
I could argue the other side of that coin, but go on.
Oh, and you will, and you.
Oh, okay, all right.
You will.
Turning this over in my
The
head.
dads only exist because of the granddads. If we're
That's not true.
Incorrect.
Tell me about stepfathers.
oh, I've activated your trap card. I see. Bonus daddery.
Yes.
That is true. You don't see a lot of bonus grandpas.
Right.
Well, except on Pornhub when you use the algorithm that comes up for my suggested links. You see a lot of bonus grandpas.
I don't mind it.
Where am I?
Okay. So some decent opening statements there. Let's get a little more perspective on this. I'm going to stick with you, Casey. Tell me why your dad thinks dads are best? Hold up. Talk like your dad when you do this.
Well, son, it's just 'cause, son, I love you. And, I haven't always been there for you, but I'm here for you now. And son, that's what I think about it. That's where my dad, I've already like, ooh, Hogfather's throwing me off. Repeat the question.
Okay. I need you to tell me why your dad thinks that dads are better than dads.
From his perspective.
Is that just him? Maybe he's just acting it out. He's letting you know how much
Well,
he
I'll tell you
loves
why I'm the best right now is because I got tattoos and all on both arms.
Okay.
And then I did a bunch of illegal things growing up, but now I don't do those things anymore because I'm your dad. And that's why dads are best.
Aw.
Because dads get to fuck up. But then dads can come right back.
Got enough life
And
left.
speaking of that, I'm going to go outside and smoke 2 packs of Marlboro Reds.
Lots the pack on fire.
Yeah. Love you, son.
Very brand specific.
Yeah. Well, we were a Marlboro family growing up.
Marlboro,
We,
sponsored by Marlboro.
Yeah, this.
Canoe? Did you have the smoking jacket?
Well, it was more of a smoking blanket.
Oh, this is more of a smoking house.
Where he would cover himself in it, and he would just chimney out. He would line the zipper with, because it doubled as a sleeping bag.
Oh, of course.
So in
All
between
Marlboro
the teeth
products
of the
do.
zipper were Marlboro Reds, and he'd light each one, and he would get in like a cocoon of
It's like a hot
cigarettes,
box, son.
Set it on fire.
and he sets it on fire, and he'll say, "I'll see you in the morning." And I say, "I love you, Dad."
I'll see you never.
All right. Yeah, that's probably why my dad thinks he's probably the best dad out of the dads.
Smoking
Okay.
Marlboro Reds. I love it.
So, counterpoint. Why would your granddad think that granddads are better than dads?
You want me to do it as Bobby James Brown?
You know what? What's your grandma's name?
Edith?
Tell me why Edith thinks that granddads are better than dads.
Oh, that's a hard one because they didn't
Through
get
the
along real.
specific, through the prism of your granddad.
So I'll have to speak as my grandmother in the voice of my grandfather about
No,
why
no,
granddads are better.
you'll speak as your grandmother,
I got you.
and she's going to, through the visage of having her husband as the granddad.
All right.
Why are granddads
All right,
better?
she's going to talk about
gonna get
her
confused.
loving husband. I like having someone else in the house in case the wolves break in, and hope to God they'll eat his sagging ass first. in case I get cold in the middle of the night, I can cut his belly open with a knife and sleep inside of him like a horse.
Damn, Edith.
Shit, they did not
You're
like
gonna
it.
tauntaun granddad's ass?
Listen, my grandma Edith and Bobby J didn't get along worth a flip. But that was her second husband, so I can't imagine what that first motherfucker did. So, she was ready to kill him at any given point, but you stay together for the kids
Right.
until
Good
the
point.
heart attack gets you.
And for,
God, that son of a bitch finally dropped dead.
for warmth and bait.
I like the money I get from the bank when he dies.
It's like a reward.
It's a reward for making it to the end of the finish line.
Monthly.
Reward.
Put up with this son of a bitch a little longer. God, I bet my papa couldn't eat pussy worth a damn. He didn't have a head for
I
eating
don't think
pussy.
anyone knew how to do that up until like.
Yeah, it wasn't invented until 1983.
Right.
You want me to put my mouth where?
Let's not
Where the
sleep
fuck
on the
would I do
60s
that?
and 70s now. Come on. What about all the
No,
rockers
they were
we had
actually, if
going?
you-
Oh, they were fighting in a goddamn war.
If you look back at any pornography from the 60s or 70s, they're not really eating vagina as much as they are. They just kind of headbutt it a lot. Kind
punch
of
it
like
with-
the bird feeders that you see, the little thing that jips his nose in the fucking
Oh,
thing
yeah,
of water.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that. They don't
Like
know
a
what they're
perpetual
doing.
motion machine.
Right. But with a lot of...
A lot of cunnilingus there.
All right. I'm going to say, so general idea I kind of have here with the dads and granddads is you've got more wisdom and experience on one hand.
Right.
With the granddads. You've got more youth, and with that, more strength and mobility going on with the dads. In this kind of vein, you guys tell me, like, why one works better than the other here? How does one trump the other? Just kind of jump in here at each other's throats.
How does Granddad trump being dad?
Well, how the wisdom and the experience that they can pull
Oh.
from triumphs over the youth that their predecessors.
Sure,
still,
I think. I mean, to take a serious point here for a second, I think granddads have like generally more earning power, as they've just existed on the planet longer and have just figured out the ways and doings, and have killed the right people, paid the right people off, aborted the correct babies, and have just made it to a point they have a greater earning power.
Important to abort the babies.
They're financially stronger than dads generally are.
With fathers, iron sharpens iron.
Ooh, I love that phrase.
As these children grow up with their fathers, their stepfathers, what happens is this. The families go through adversaries.
Anniversaries?
They go for adversaries.
Adversaries. They seek out
They
specifically
go out
adversaries.
and find enemies to fight. And that's where this is heading. The reason why dads are better is because if you look at the films like The Incredibles or anything like that,
where's Grandpa
every
Incredible?
good dude, there wasn't one.
I know, it's sad.
So what I'm saying is every great what a dad can do that a grandpa cannot is make a superhero family. That.
All right.
Breaking out Bob Parr.
And the word I was looking for, it was not adversaries or anniversaries. It was, what's the word I'm looking for? Unfortunate things.
Adversities.
Adversities.
Okay.
That dads go through adversities almost at the same time that their children are going through their first kinds of those things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's where the iron sharpens iron. But to double back, that was the first point, but really doubling down on dads can make superhero families while grandpas cannot, and there is evidence in film.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you got
I
me.
dig that. And it's a decent lead-in. I like you mentioned iron sharpens iron. So I want to get into a little something here, get into where we're going, get into the end game maybe a little. You're both going to get a weapon of choice. Any weapon of choice. What are the dads going to use? What are the granddads going to use? What's your battle weapon?
Like, straight up Star Trek tar pole fight to the death.
Gladiatorial mayhem.
But what a grandfather would pick as opposed to what me, a father, would pick.
Right.
Okay, I've got you. My Ryobi electric weed eater. It's like a super high watt one, and it can last for like 6 hours cutting down shit. So there's that.
Skin.
I'm gonna shred it up, dude. I'm gonna kill the grandpa you.
All right. I think that's a fair choice. There are a lot of granddad weapons, a lot of yard tools to choose from as well.
Right.
I initially thought psychological abuse was the way to go, and just use the fact that I'm banging your mom as the weapon.
Listen here, you son of a bitch.
I busted loads, and your mama more than you can count.
You were just a twinkle in my
But
goddamn eye.
I think I'm going to take the obvious choice and say the grandchildren, because as we know, the grandpap. Now listen here, hang with me. The grandpap has the power and the authority. He gets to give all the gifts, have all the fun, and none of the bullshit. So at this point, Pap has earned the favors with silver dollars produced out of thin air, with mysterious trips for ice cream cones, time to go fishing that Dad just doesn't have because he's too busy working for
What's
the man.
Dad going to use, though?
I, as a grandfather, will sick the two grandchildren on Dad against the Ryobi weed eater. I will take numbers over armament any day.
like
Two feral children.
If you're gonna beat your dad's ass, you can stay here another
You
night.
want that new Power Ranger? You want that Nintendo 64? Whoop that Dad's ass.
You want to stay the night at Papa's forever?
Yeah. You know who doesn't let you play video games on Friday night? Dad.
He's an ass. Ain't
He's
he?
Dad can
he's
be a
lame.
dick. Yeah.
I don't- Papa never
sometimes
grounds
Dad
you.
don't let us watch TV all night like
Yeah.
Papa.
Yeah, Papa does.
So nobody had like a strict granddad here. That's what I'm getting.
My
didn't
granddad was a quiet man. I'm a grandma
That's a book, right?
boy. Yeah, it is now. I just wrote it called
Quiet.
Grandpa's a Quiet Man.
There we go. Quiet man.
Deep in his bottles. No, my grandfather
Longest
was
fight
much
in film
more
history.
of just giving me sharp implements to play with, keep me busy. Like he used to give
Yeah.
me shovels and just let me dig all day,
Yeah.
straight down.
Go guard.
He did shoot me. He did shoot me. He did teach me how to
Wow.
shoot a few times. Yes, I have been shot by my grandfather, so this is a very sensitive topic.
Boy,
for
get
me.
down! God damn! You see that buck? That's 12 points. God damn!
Okay.
Thought you was a damn deer.
So we've got our weapons. What's your preferred battlefield? Also, Casey went first last time. Dan?
As a grandfather, the battlefield I want to choose would be the T-ball field, particularly one that was known to my son in his youth. Maybe a moment where like he wet his pants up in the batter's box, or was hit by a ball, or just really, really embarrassed. I want to lay the field out, something that's going to unnerve the dad to the core, to weaken and kind of detract from some of this youth.
Hell, T-ball field having to spend time with his kids instead of mowing his lawn, drinking beer. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty unsettling.
Remember this, boy? Remember these days? You wet your pants right here in this batter's box. Oh, the children laughed. Oh, you youthful. How about more youth than you can handle?
I dig it. What are the dads going to play at?
Well, real quick, I believe Daniel should have actually the correct answer should have
Oh,
been.
thank you for my correct answer.
Should have been Hardee's at 4 a.m.
Hardee's at 4 a.m. is the correct answer. Just from behind the newspaper.
I knew you's here.
Fresh butter biscuits.
Fresh buttered biscuits.
Ultimate Dad Battlefield will be Hibbett Sports at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Nice.
Right there, you got the baseball bats. You got a bunch of kids that don't know what they're doing, and here I fucking come with the
I'd pay good
Ryobi.
money to watch
And I just go in there and I just kill my. I forget that your weapon was my own children. So
See? It's a good weapon.
and I
How you
turn
gonna
my
rob
head
your own
as I know
children?
the only thing that must happen now. I'm sorry.
And you know where you got that winner's got to win attitude? From your old dad. Oh, turned it around.
All right, I like it. I'm getting shots fired here. So, before we really get into the big meat of this, before we start making decisions that are going to really hurt people, I want to play a little game with you.
All right.
We got a new game. I'm just going to call it Bargain Bin.
Welcome, brethren. It is I, Cardinal Pope Phoenix, Director of Operations at St. Bernstein's Cathedral, reminding you to tune in each Sunday at exactly midnight to our Sunday Mass. Sister Patricia will be serving a pancake breakfast in the Women's Auxiliary in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Come early to avoid the crowds. Join us on Discords at burn_the_bones. Follow us on the web and Facebook at burnthecursedbones.net. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to live stream the gaping abyss directly into your homes. Check out our Instagram page at Bones Hold No Secrets. And make sure to share the hashtag BurnTheBones to spread the consummate flames that are the dying light. I now return you to the killing floor and to the mercy of the hogs.
I think if anybody enjoys a good bargain, it's going to be your dad and your granddad.
I like
They're
it.
looking for them deals. So what I'm going to do, I've pulled a handful of items from, because I think dads and granddads both enjoy Lowe's. Good
Right.
home improvement store. We're a Lowe's family around
It is a
here.
sacred ground.
I've pulled, as of yesterday, the most recent deals at our local Lowe's in
Oh,
Dalton,
shit.
Georgia,
Oh shit!
for several dad, granddad items.
Perfect.
Ooh, I like
You're going to
it.
give me the price, and the closest to the dollar amount wins.
Without
Oh,
going over Price is Right rules.
No. Just closest
Ah,
to.
bullshit.
We can't afford the copyright. So here we go.
Are non-existent.
First one, I will let you know that they're going to move from cheapest to most expensive.
All
We're
right.
going to build from it. So for our cheapest item at Lowe's, the White Rogers mechanical non-programmable thermostat. It's fine, Karen.
No.
We don't need the digital one. We just need the knob. It works.
Okay, so this is an analog thermostat.
Absolutely.
A very contentious battleground for dads and granddads alike.
For sure.
$3.99.
It's white. It's $3.99.
You said just a regular analog, just like
Thermostat that goes in the wall.
thermostat that goes in the wall.
Right. The
Oh,
guy
I
that
didn't hear
controls
that.
your
I-
temp, sliding
okay.
that little knobby back and forth.
All
I
right.
would say $79.99.
I'll change mine, of course, because I thought we were talking about one you would shove in meat.
That's a thermometer.
So you say $79.99, Grandpa?
$79.99. If
Okay.
it's $1 more,
You
they
gonna-
robbing
gonna
you.
Cut his balls off. $79.98.
You son of a bitch.
I mean, that sounds kind of right. I'll do $59.99.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Well, you're still good with the low. This particular analog thermostat is only $16.38.
What
Ah,
the fuck? I have no
titties.
idea how much thermostats
Way to go,
cost.
Lowe's.
No
Way to
idea.
go, Lowe's.
Gosh, man,
$16. I tell you what,
I'm
that's a bargain.
It
That
is a bargain.
It is actually pretty good.
All right, next bargain bin item. We've got a 5-pound bag of 3-inch pan head polymer coated star drive deck screws.
These are deck screws.
can use them
Hey,
for.
are these self-tapping deck screws?
They are pan head.
Pan head. Now, is that flush? Is that a flush 3 3/4?
These are also analog screws. They're not self-screwing screws.
Are they metric?
They are 5 pounds.
screws.
They're not digital screws. It's a 5-pound bag, you say?
5-pound bag.
How big are the
3-inch
screws?
head.
3-inch head. 3-inch pan head?
You
God
know it.
damn! I'm gonna say about $29.
You said $29.
I said $29.
$37.
You cut.
Very
swear
nice.
to God.
No, I'm gonna give Dan an extra damn point for being in the same dollar range, $29.88.
Oh
boy.
yeah, I did work at Yarn Equipment Specialties, counting screws all fucking day.
There you go.
I've seen my fair share of panheads.
I'm not this kind of dad. I'm the different.
more like the emotional support, like
Yeah.
hang your pictures on the fridge kind of dad.
Yeah.
We're going stereotypical. All right, now we're getting into more fun stuff. Let's get a good toy. Craftsman V20 20-volt max 9 amp hour lithium power tool battery.
Just a battery,
Just
nine
a battery.
amp.
Just one.
Rechargeable?
Craftsman V20 20-volt.
V20.
$70.
Is it rechargeable? Does it come with the charger?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say $49.
All right. $149.
Jesus
Before it goes
H
to
Christ
Casey.
for
Yeah.
a battery?
Yeah, dude, this battery's.
I have no concept of money.
20-volt max 9 amp hour.
Is 9 amp. How many hours you get it? How many hours you get it?
9 amp hour.
9 amp hours. God, I have no idea what that is. My God, it sounds like a lot though. It's a tremendous amount of amp hours.
I feel like your dad could tell
My dad
you.
would tell me why it's not good enough. Son, you don't need no more than 6 amp hours. God damn it, that's a waste of goddamn money.
Terrible deal. Your friend Aaron's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh God.
All right. Next to last, really cranking it up now. We're getting up there. That's the clue I'll give you. DeWalt 15 amp 1 1/8 inch keyless corded rotary hammer drill.
Hammer drill, like for the concrete. Ooh.
$699.
$1,280.
Daniel, all right. We got $1,398.
Fuck me, dude.
Getting some torque, baby. Getting some torque.
If you'd have got it on the Labor Day special, it's only $988.
See, that's where I'm basing all my answers on Labor Day
Right,
special.
you can't.
You're still stuck
You're
in
living
Labor
in the
Day.
past, boy.
That's too. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
You just missed it.
See, I'm a papaw. I've been keeping these newspapers for 35 years, just stacked up.
Look
in the
at
garage.
All right. We got the last one. This is for all the dollars. You want to see that slick green John Deere E180 carb 25 horsepower V-twin side-by-side hydrostatic 54-inch riding lawnmower with mulching capability. Get sold separately.
Yes, God, yes. $4,800.
John Deere.
$8,000.
$8,000.
Goes to Dan again, $2,899.
Jeez, that's a good.
Not
that's
as
a
bad as I
steal.
thought it would
That's a
be.
steal.
$200,000.
I learned things here.
It was almost as much as that DeWalt hammer drill.
The DeWalt Hamilton. Hamilton.
Hamilton. It's
DeWalt
popular,
Hamilton
right?
drill.
That you fucking beat my ass on that fucking bargain bin.
That he
dude.
did. He got the bargain bin. So, what's going to happen now is we're going to fight. That's what we've been leading up to. You got your weapons, you got your battlefield, and you just going to damn fight. We're going to take turns, take swipes, kind of like a role-playing game. You know, you're going to straight up
Oh
turn
my God, we have
base.
to get my D20s out?
You're going to turn base this shit.
All right.
And Daniel, since you win, you get the preferred battlefield and the first
yes.
move.
Okay.
We're at the T-ball field,
All
boys
right.
and girls.
We're in the T-ball field. We stand there. Sunset. As the bleeding sun sets behind the western sky, and the dust blows across the infield.
I've come for you.
Boy, I heard what you said about your mom and me.
Like what?
Oh boy, like all them things I used to wring that smart mouth for when you was a youngin'.
Good try.
And that's when from the shadows, like from the top, from the lights of the T-ball field, they just kick on, choom, choom, and two looming shadows creep across the field, cover you as the two children leap down like predatorous gargoyles, screeching like night owls, clawing you with their long toenails. I just don't got a clip because I'm Papon. That's your goddamn job. They're just clawing your fucking eyes out. I'm gonna let Casey roll for deck save.
Okay. My children are now on top of me, ripping apart all of my body.
This happened
Read my
fast.
fanfic again.
Now, at this point, I realize what's going on. I grab the Ryobi and I use it as a staff to push them off. The children fly back, but now they're even more rabid. I rev it up one time, and I kind of slap them both across the face with it. Just little tiny marks, nothing that can get defects called. And
Just tiny little.
you all right? Walk it off. Walk it off.
as I rev it up, I look back to grandfather.
Oh, I see the damage that you've done with your Ryobi. And the weapons drawn against your own children. I yell at them the ancient sage advice: rub some dirt in it. Come on. And they do. They grab some of that. They grab some of that pitch and they fucking rub it in their wounds, and their wounds just heal, just sizzling like a vampire in moonlight.
All right, now this is a county ball field, so you've definitely caused some damage to these children. They're not as strong as they were a moment ago. I'm gonna dock the
y'all,
kids
this is
a
a
little.
county ball field. Y'all can't be out here doing this.
They got a -1 on the roll.
Jesus Christ. So I'm going to instruct the children to rub dirt in their wounds to heal it with the natural soul of the consecrated T-ball field.
While they're being hurt, I'm gonna pitch it over. You've got a point of opportunity here, Dad.
I throw down the Ryobi to the side.
Okay.
And what do I pull out of my back pocket?
Oh, no.
But s'mores Pop-Tarts.
Oh, shit. He's got the snacks. I forgot. Dad's always got the snacks.
And the promise to rent any movie they want to watch.
Oh, no.
Oh shit!
As long as they'll chill out and come hang out with Dad for a while. The children are now tempted.
They're charmed. They're less likely.
That's pretty cool.
Attack at the moment. Okay, what are you gonna do with this?
I'm in a lot of trouble here, so I'm going to have to get desperate. I'm going to have to, in like one quick, serpentine motion, the belt just click. You hear that snap, that familiar pop that haunts your dreams, and that woo, and the whip, like just the belt just cracks beside, and the children like come to heel. It's like, now, y'all kids, come on in now. Mama done made popcorn. We're going to turn on the Jeopardy. We all finished your salads. And the kids, they're not buying it. The fear of the belt is instinctual in all three. Getting a stunning roll on the dad as those childhood fears, that crack of that belt stun in. And I grab both children with the whip, pull them back away from your Pop-Tarty grasp. That's when I begin my charge, swirling the whip of my head, screaming in rage. I'm going to teach you something, boy, you should have learned years ago. And I'm coming for him. I'm rolling to attack. Where's my dice at? I'm within melee range, bitch. Let's go. We should have played a game of D&D.
We can keep this going.
I'm not quite there yet. I haven't determined. Like he's moving into a field of opportunity.
So as Papaw comes closer to me, belt just a whipping, he forgets from the shadows. And he catches the Ryobi. The belt catches the Ryobi. Sucks it up and throws it out of the playing field. Dad's move is he starts to hunker down. Because in philosophy, every man must kill his own father. And this is where it begins.
I'm so proud of you, son. You finally ain't a bitch no more. I can die happy.
I like it. That's a beautiful end. I love
love
it. As
it.
the kids watch on horrifically.
Why are they like this? This happens every fucking Labor Day.
Ooh, that got bloody. That got gory. I like that. I got into it. All right. I love what we've done here. There's a wonderful display of ageism not being a thing. Anyone can do anything. You can be whatever you want to
Absolutely.
And you can be proud of your son, even in murdering you, which I'm very proud of.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So here's how I'm going to do this. I really enjoyed both the points we had here. I love the Ryobi. Love that Dad's going hard. But the grandfather, wielding his own grandchildren, still having the grace to admit defeat and say that in the end, I love you, son, you killed me. The dad might have won the battle, but the granddad's won the war today. I'm going to give it to Daniel.
That's the wisdom of age, man. I'm telling you, that's what it's about. Like you can't.
That's a well fought battle.
Youth is wasted on the
Kudos.
young. They say.
As a person who's had multiple father figures, I've never had multiple grandfather figures. So the grandfather I've always had not higher regard, but
The station of grandfather is one that I've always held in high regard. Mine, despite being an angry giant of a man who died from McDonald's, he also like
gotta kill you,
he
man.
cared a lot more about me than he did his own son, and I always appreciated that. But,
Yeah.
like, he just like, I don't give a shit about that boy. Hey, you want to go shoot guns at raccoons?
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Shot
And
me
Dad
a
never
gun.
got that. No, he never got that, and he'll never be able to take that from me, no matter how hard he tries.
My grandpa made me ride. He made me. I did it, but he was like, "Do it with me, pussy." drove like 4-wheelers on main highways.
Hell yeah.
In Blue Ridge, and I'm going like 55, and I'm fucking like 14.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
you learn so many good lessons from Papa that Dad just don't teach you, like how to get somebody home if they're drunk from the Lions Club, how many nails you can steal from Home Depot without getting in trouble.
Right.
Well, I think
It's a lot. You'd be surprised.
I think you had it right. It's just that everything they learn over time. You know, like my grandpa, I liked one of my favorite memories is their forever. I don't know why they never changed the door, but the door to their forever home had just a great big foothole in the front of the door, and it's like that's back from when Granddaddy didn't deal with anger so well.
That's when your
And
daddy
it's like,
was
and
in his cups.
he's just this wonderful, sweet man. That's all I ever knew when I got older. But that was like they kept it as a memory, like an homage to how much wisdom and strength he'd gained over the years.
Papa, what happened to the door?
Drinking.
Heavy drinking. Also, believe I remember they said he wasted all the family's money on pinball machines back in the day.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if that's a real
Now,
thing or
my
not.
question is this. And let me ask you this. Was it, I assume it was playing pinball, but was it just like buying and building and repairing like
It
a,
must
like
have
a
been
pinball
playing
team?
pinball.
You know, that's a thing. Like, scary enough, like pinball was outlawed. Did you know that pinball was illegal in this country for a period of time?
What for?
Just being a vice, being
Oh,
part
it's
of
like gambling in a way.
Yeah, it was like non-regulated, non-casino style gambling. Pinball wasn't made legal again, like in the state of New York, until like 1972 or some more shit.
You know what they did for to bypass gambling during those times too is they would have these slot machines that when you would win, it would just push out mints. But then you would go to the bartender and you would give the bartender the mints, and the bartender would give you the cash.
Hell yeah, man will always find a way to fuck himself over
It's
if
fucking
given enough time.
great.
Yeah.
Papaws.
Hey, I just got too much goddamn money. Can I just waste some of it here? I'm
Absolutely.
just gonna leave it in the floor. God, that was fun.
All right, well, I think we got a pretty good view on the dads and granddads here
Hell
today.
yeah.
No one should ever fight like that. No one wins when dads and granddads fight, except maybe mom and grandma. They've had enough of their shit anyway.
I love the secret Ryobi. It'll be my move forever. I'm gonna go to a karate tournament and do a form with the Ryobi.
Thanks for tuning in, friends.
Bye,
Catch you next time.
fuckers.
Keep hogging.